Recording going here. Okay, welcome. Let's go ahead and get started here. Coach Kevin Sparks here, and I'd like to welcome you to being here with us today. Most of you, I'm looking at the names of those who have logged in already. Most of you, I believe, if not all of you, I think even all of you, have actually been with us at some point in the last 2.5 weeks. Okay. And typically you guys kind of know the drill when you come in for the introduction. The first thing I usually do is share my screen, and then I share with you that we have a Facebook group that goes together with our meetup group and tell you how to join the Facebook group. And then what we do after that is I show you where to get the material that we're going through, which for the last 2.5 weeks, we've been going through a book called The Science of Getting Rich. Okay. Interestingly enough, as I was getting ready today, we're on a particular chapter. We're actually supposed to be on page 68 of 77. But for some reason, when I go to share my screen, and I've tried 2 different browsers, it's having trouble loading after I go to share my screen. So you guys wouldn't necessarily be able to see it. So at first, I've actually spent the last 20, 30 minutes trying to get it to work correctly. And then the thought came to me, you know what? This isn't what I'm supposed to teach today. This isn't what I'm supposed to share with you guys today. Somebody has a need out there to hear something different than what we were going to do. And their desire is so strong that it's actually guiding and directing me to do something different than I intended. So I wasn't prepared to do what I was going to do. However, in some ways, I'm always prepared for it. Because it's me being who I am and utilizing inspiration, revelation, and intuition to know what to do in any given situation. So I have only had a few moments to think about it and kind of tune in to what you guys, what would be the most helpful thing I could do for you today outside of that material. And I want to talk with you about your subconscious mind. Okay. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Yeah, we have material. There's even a book we'll go through in the future called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. However, I want to, from my perspective, in the amount of time we have available together today, to share with you whatever intuitively comes to me, whatever it feels like is calling out to be said for you guys, because somebody needs to hear what I'm going to say today. I have this strong feeling. You may already be on, or you may be one of those people that's going to hop on in the next 5 minutes because you think I'm going through an introduction. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. And I'm going to make a very bold statement about the law of attraction. Okay. Most of you are here because you want to understand how the law of attraction works. You want to understand how to manifest more money and wealth into your life. And bravo for you being here for that purpose. Okay. It is a purpose that many people have. And when they've heard about the law of attraction, because however you've heard about it originally, maybe you saw the movie The Secret. By the way, if you've got something to take notes with, I might throw out some different things here. You probably want to take some notes because I'm not even 100% sure what it is I'm going to share with you in a sense, but again, it'll be inspired. But here's what I'd say about the movie and or the book, The Secret. Okay. It definitely opened the eyes to many people in the world to understand that there even is a law of attraction. Okay. And it became popular enough that it ended up on the Oprah show many years ago. And almost anything that ends up on the Oprah show ends up going big. And that's exactly what happened with the movie, The Secret. They would, before the book even came out. Okay. The book essentially is a transcription of the movie. If you have access to Netflix and you ever watch the movie The Secret, type in The Secret, all right, and go watch it. If you can, go watch it today. If not, make sure you watch it during the week. But go to Netflix, type in The Secret, watch it. Some of you maybe watched it years ago. It's time to go watch it again. Okay. But go ahead and watch the movie The Secret. If you don't have Netflix, how else could you watch it? Well, you can type in The Secret movie into YouTube and look for something that is approximately an hour and a half long, and you will probably find it on there too. It just won't be as good of a copy, okay? But you can probably even find the movie on YouTube. I know I found it from time to time on YouTube. I actually happen to have, besides Netflix, the seen it there many times, happen to own the actual DVD that we bought way back in 2006 when it came out. Actually bought lots of those DVDs and gave them out to people. But definitely go watch that movie if you haven't. I was actually kind of surprised the other day when I brought that up and somebody said, no, I haven't seen the movie. So definitely go watch it. Okay, let me get a sip of water. Let's go into the subconscious mind though. By the way, The Secret is a great introduction to the law of attraction, but it's not everything you need to know. However, some people, when they're first getting started, will have some great things manifest because your subconscious won't be in opposition to what you're trying to manifest. So this leads into me talking about the subconscious mind. Let me share you something about the subconscious mind. I'll share multiple things, but I want to share something with you about getting what it is that you want. Like if you set a goal, you have a dream, you have a life that you want to live. You don't have to know anything, anything at all about the law of attraction to get what you want. To be like, well, Kevin, aren't you a law of attraction coach? Yes, I am. I am. I'm a law of attraction coach and a mindset coach, and also a coach that helps you reprogram your subconscious mind. So why do I make the bold statement that you actually don't have to know anything about it? Well, first of all, are there people around you? You may know them personally, or you may not know them personally. Okay. But there are people around you that are manifesting things that they want that really don't even know how they do it. Meaning they're living this life, but if you talk to them, and even if you brought up words like law of attraction, they would look at you cross-eyed like, I don't really know what that is. Oprah, when she was interviewing Rhonda Byrne on the movie The Secret, she has a way. Oprah was somebody who was manifesting what she wanted. She was actually following the law of attraction, living by the laws, and that's why she was having the successes that she's having, but she didn't know specifically how to explain it. The Secret helped her learn better how to explain what it was that she'd been doing. It's like, yeah, I've been doing this. Oh, but I called it this. Oh, I've been doing this, but I called it this, right? But Oprah had a subconscious, not had, has a subconscious mind that is programmed in such a way that she will always be wealthy and she will continue to gain more wealth. It's part of her program. Okay. So she did not have to know about the law of attraction and consciously make the effort to live it. She was already programmed subconsciously over time. She didn't start out that way, but she got around the right influences later on in her life, not really early, but and those influences in her discernment and coming to an awareness of what people were doing, which Oprah is very good. Remember what Oprah does. Oprah interviews people. That's essentially what she was. She's a reporter, but what Oprah got out of it, even more than the audience, is she was interviewing people that were highly successful, and she's interviewed people and that aren't as successful either. But she's interviewing people and asking questions and pulling out from them answers to those questions, which Oprah would then gain a new awareness. And she was smart enough as she was doing this process of taking in input into her conscious mind to decide what she wanted to let come into her subconscious mind. I'm not saying again that she, had this full awareness of how she was doing it, but if they said things that just didn't jive with her energetically, they don't get in the subconscious mind. If they were saying things as she was interviewing them that jived energetically, she allowed it into her subconscious mind, and she allowed herself to be programmed for success as a business person. And many other areas of her life, people would consider Oprah a pretty great success. Is she perfect? No, not by any means. None of us are. Okay. But from a subconscious level, she did not have to understand how all the laws worked. She got programmed so that she naturally did the right things. and it became easier and easier and easier. And her program to go from poverty to wealth increased and increased and increased. And that's why to this day, Oprah is not typically that person that has lots of dips and valleys. She has them in other parts of her life, but from a financial perspective, her subconscious mind is programmed extremely well to manifest money and wealth in her life and to make it an almost effortless thing. So you don't actually have to understand the law of attraction. Now, here's the thing though, by understanding not just the law of attraction, but the additional laws that govern manifesting money and wealth in the universe, by understanding how they work, what their purposes are, and coming to a new awareness, it gives us the desire to change what we're doing. And it's that desire to change what we're doing that will help our subconscious accept that what is current for us is not what should be going forward into the future. What our current results are not what it is that we want for the future. The subconscious mind was designed to do a few things. The subconscious mind was designed, one, to keep us alive. Okay. It's the reason why when we go to sleep at night or whatever time we go to sleep, maybe you have the graveyard shift or whatever, but when you go to sleep, so I'm going to say when you go to sleep at night, it's what keeps you breathing. It's what keeps your heart going. It's what keeps everything about you alive. Your subconscious mind was designed day and night to keep you alive, to keep everything functioning and moving forward so that you stay alive. The next thing the subconscious mind was designed to do was to keep you safe. It wants to keep you safe. And then it has a third purpose. The subconscious mind also is there to help you master things so they become autopilot for you. Okay. So we're not going to talk about keeping you alive any longer, but let's talk about keeping you safe for a moment. You have to understand that the subconscious mind is doing its best to keep you safe. And to the subconscious mind, anything it's never experienced before is considered not safe. Okay. Change to the subconscious, it does not like change because its purpose is to keep you alive and to keep you safe. And if you're alive and safe right now, it doesn't want to change what's going on because it can mess with the subconscious mind's mission. Now, you might be going, well, I'm alive, but I'm not all that safe. I'm not doing all that well. I've been in an abusive relationship, in fact, and I've been beaten before. I've been homeless. I've this, that, and the other, the things that maybe currently you're going through it. I don't know. But from a subconscious perspective, the subconscious says, yeah, but you're still alive. And if we change something, we don't know what's going to happen yet. If we allow you to change, you might not be alive tomorrow. It looks at everything as kind of a scary thing because it's different. It says you're better off. It doesn't know that you being beaten is bad. It just knows that you being beaten or homeless or whatever is normal. Not maybe normal as far as the world thinks of something is normal, but it considers that what is normal for you. So what is ever normal for you, whatever is habitual for you, as long as you're staying alive, the subconscious mind is cool with that, even though you're totally not cool with just that. All right. Therefore, when you go to make a change and your subconscious mind says that's different than what it is that it has been, the subconscious mind is going to try and throw a monkey wrench in there. Okay. Let's talk about the third thing again, what the subconscious mind does. The subconscious mind is there to help us master things. What do I mean by that? I've already given this scenario out to you guys and gals before. Maybe some new people are on right now. Some of you heard. But if I throw out the multiplication tables to you and I say 3 times 9, most of you are going to right away is going to pop into your head 27. Okay. 3 times 9 is 27. Maybe it came super, super instantly. Maybe you had a short, teeny little pause there. Okay. But 27 probably came to you unless you didn't go to school and learn times tables. Okay. If I say, what's 4 times 8? You're going to 32, right? What's 7 times 10? 70. I can go on and on and on like that until I ask a question like this about multiplication. What's 326 times 4,270? Now, you are capable of coming up with the answer, but it doesn't spit out just like that, unless you are that person that has developed that math genius in you, okay? And you've got that kind of brain. But for the most of us, we learn the times tables up to 12 times 12. And we repeated it over and over and over and over and over again. The subconscious accepted that because of the spaced repetition. We were doing it over and over, probably went back day after day. No, you didn't try and learn it all in one day, by the way. That's why I'm referring to it as spaced repetition. You can repeat things throughout the day, but you can't become an expert by starting today at 8 o'clock and ending tonight at 8 o'clock, just repeating something to yourself. It's not going to be as powerful as taking 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, or a half hour twice a day or an hour a day, and doing that over a period of a week or two. Okay. Spaced repetition, but eventually it'll become subconscious for you. Most of you, depending on what city you live in, okay, I know some of you are going to take different types of transportation, but most of us drive cars. When we first started to drive a car, we had to have, definitely, we were paying attention, okay, because it wasn't subconscious for us. We had to think of every move that we were making, and we were more dangerous on the road back then, whether we knew it or not. Now, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but depending on your age and how long you've been driving and whatnot, now you can have phone calls and text and do all kinds. Again, not legal to do it, okay? But at a subconscious level, if we are used to the technology and everything else and we're driving, all that becomes subconscious too. And actually we become, unfortunately, but we're kind of safer the more we do it, because it becomes a program for us. I don't recommend you do it, because in the process of trying to learn how to do it at a subconscious level, that is when you can get hurt. That's why most drivers have their accidents when they're first learning within the first few years, versus once it's become habitual and has become subconscious for you, okay? But your subconscious mind is designed to master something so that you don't have to focus on it anymore. You don't have to put as much energy or attention into it to keep it going. It's kind of like spinning plates. The subconscious mind will keep it going pretty much forever. You only got 2 arms, but think of your subconscious mind, it's an additional arm. So if you've got 3 poles up with 3 plates, you're spinning 2 of them. Well, your subconscious will say, hey, look, I've got this. It'll take 1 or 2 plates away from you so that you can put up 2 more poles and put 2 more plates on them. Now you spin 2 more. And the subconscious mind says, okay, now the subconscious mind will do all 4 for you, and you can add 2 more. Now the subconscious mind can do the subconscious mind, and it's not that the plates represent everything being the same. One is driving, one is shaving, one is brushing the teeth, one is putting on our clothes, one is putting on our shoes, one is doing multiplication tables. Some of it's related to your current profession or previous professions once you got to an autopilot state. But when you get to an autopilot state in your life with anything, it becomes normal, common, and easy for you. Normal, common, and easy for you. And what the subconscious mind wants to do is keep things normal, common, and easy for you. It doesn't want change. But once you've mastered something and the subconscious now accepts that mastery, it accepts that program, that will put it on autopilot. Okay. Now, you may have personally gone out and mastered different things, but your opinions, your thoughts, and a lot of your ideas that you have right now were not things that you went out and mastered. They ended up in your subconscious mind between ages of 2 and 8, when you had no cap on the mind. Things just went in from your environment and everything and everybody around you. But what else has happened is, even as you've grown up, you put yourself in situations to accept other people's thoughts, feelings, and ideas. And you use your 5 senses to look out into the physical world. And all it does is report back to you that, yep, that's absolutely the way it is. Let's give you more of that. It doesn't come out and say, hey, I see this cool thing out there, go get it. That's not what your subconscious mind says. Your conscious mind says, I see that cool thing out there. I want it, to go get it. But your subconscious mind says, I see the status quo. I see what's been going on in your life. My job is to keep you alive and safe. So I don't want to change that. But again, it's there for also to help you master things to make your life easier. So it's really kind of funny that way. But that's how your subconscious mind operates. And you have programs for just about everything because 97, 98%, maybe more on certain days, we're running on autopilot. We maybe don't think we are because we think some different things, but our actions, our thoughts, our feelings are essentially the same ones we've been having over and over and over again, which reinforces those thoughts and feelings, which reinforces to the subconscious mind that that's what it's supposed to provide you with. It's supposed to keep you alive and safe. So if you want more money, you want a better job, you want a new house, you want a better relationship, you want to get married, you want to take vacations, you want all these things that are different than what it is that you currently have, and you don't reprogram your subconscious mind to be in alignment with what it is that you want, you won't get it. You can learn the law of attraction. You can learn the laws that govern manifesting money and wealth because they don't change. They're systems put in place by God in the universe, and they don't discriminate. They don't care your age. They don't care your locality. They don't care your race. They don't care your religion. They don't care your sexual orientation. They don't care about anything around that. There are laws in place that says you follow and do what we're supposed to do, you will get this result. You follow the laws that govern manifesting more money and wealth in your life, you will have more money and wealth in your life, period. However, your understanding doesn't necessarily make it so that you're capable of following what you learn. Because at a conscious level, your subconscious says, I disagree with that. It's untrue, but because it's not your normal. So subconscious mind says, I don't care that you just learned how the law of attraction works. I don't care that you've learned these different laws. That doesn't matter to me. My job is to keep you alive and to keep you safe. So what do you have to do with that new knowledge? You have to imprint that on your subconscious mind, but you also have to consciously choose to believe that. You have to say, you know what? I've learned how these laws work now. So I recognize that I'm not living the way I was meant to live. I know I can be more, I know I can do more, and I know I can have more, and I know that I was meant for more in life. So I can be, do, and have more because now I get how this works. Your subconscious mind's still not working together with you to help you at that point, but you know it's possible because you are now coming into a new awareness. And your conscious mind is the one that lets things into your subconscious mind or not originally. When you were too young, you had no lid. But once you got to be a bit older and you could actually observe and make a few decisions, you consciously took ideas and you either let them into your subconscious mind or you said, no, you're not allowed in. Now, what's happened to us is there are many things that we didn't, especially early on. You're like, I don't want that in there. That's bull. People trying to tell you that, you can't do what you want to do. But unfortunately, the school system has done what to us, and our parents have done what to us, and society has done what to us? Spaced repetition of ideas. And eventually we quit rejecting things and we started accepting. So those became subconscious too, even if we didn't like what it was. So how do we change the subconscious mind? Okay. Well, the very first thing you're going to have to do, and most of you are not going to take the time to do this, You think it's an easy thing to do, but it's not. You have to decide what you want. You absolutely have to decide what you want. And you have to have the intention to get it. And that doesn't mean you're wishy-washy about it. Okay. You have to make a decision that my life is going to be this way instead of the way it is. Well, what does that mean? You can't just come out and say, "Oh, I want to make $50,000 a month." You can say that all you want. Chances are you will get there. I'm very, very few people that say that type of thing is a goal won't get there because it doesn't have meaning to God in the universe per se. And on a brain level, if you've been making a lot less money than that, for instance, if the most you've ever made is $2,000 or $3,000 in a month, maybe 4 or 5,000, 6,000, whatever, and you're saying, I want to make 50,000. I'm going to, not just want, and not going to as future, but I am, come heck or high water, receiving $50,000 a month. You have to have a purpose for the $50,000 to get enough, to get it into your imagination and to utilize your imagination instead of your five senses to therefore impress that not only on God and the universe to help you, but to get your subconscious mind to accept it. Just staring at piles of money or writing it down over and over is not going to bring you the money. But if you'll utilize your imagination, kind of like you did as a kid with a childlike faith, the difference is with the absolute decision and intention to have it manifest in physical reality. Live it in your subconscious, not as if it's in the future, but as if it's happening to you absolutely right now. Like, that is who I am. That is who I am. I'm this now. I'm not that. Now, you don't say I'm this, I'm not that. You stay away from the not that part. But this is who I am now. This is how my life is now. This is what I do now for vacations. This is the type of car I drive. This is the home I live in. These are the people I associate with. These are the charities I help out, and on and on. This is my life right now. Eventually, through space repetition, but also through the right type of emotion, your subconscious mind is going to accept the new you as normal. It's going to accept the new you as normal. What happens when your subconscious mind accepts the new you as normal? What is the subconscious mind's purpose? Keep you alive, keep you safe, help you master stuff so that you can go on autopilot. Okay. Well, obviously staying alive is good, but it's going to accept now that the new vision you have of you, the new perception you have of yourself, your new self-image, that's what's normal. So the subconscious mind goes, that's normal. It now says, okay, God in the universe, I will now get out of the way, not better yet, I will now connect with you. What do you need and want me to do so that Kevin, I'm talking myself, Oscar, Patrick, Lily, whoever, Mercedes, whoever else is on here, it will work with God in the universe to bring you what you asked for. God and the universe have been ready to deliver it all along. As long as you obey the laws that govern manifesting more money and wealth in your life, they will bring them to you. If you understand them, you're working them. Here's the cool thing about your subconscious, but I said at the very beginning, you didn't have to understand the law of attraction to make it work for you and get what you want. That's true because your subconscious mind will take your new self-image, it will take your new perception of who you are, and it will automatically connect with God in the universe. And God in the universe and your subconscious mind will work things out together to make sure you get what you want, whether you fully understand how it all works or not. Okay. Now, one of the things that you are going to probably struggle to do in reprogramming yourself is you're going to come across doubts, worries, fears, and things like that. And or you will be blind to some of your current beliefs that are getting in the way. your programs that are running subconsciously. And that's why at some point you are going to definitely, I'm going to say it's beyond want, you're going to need, if you want to get to a truly high level. Okay. If you're just trying to get to a little bit better level, different, you won't need this. If you're trying to take your income from 3 grand a month to 5 grand a month, you won't need this. If you're trying to take your income from 3 grand a month to 30 grand a month, 3 grand a month to 50 grand a month, 3 grand a month to $100,000 a month, you absolutely 100% are going to need the help of somebody that can see your blind spots and recognize when you're off course in your programming. If not, you will get extremely frustrated and you'll probably give up. Now you could say, well, why don't I go from 3,000 this year to 4,000 next year to 5,000 the year after to maybe 6,000 the year after that? Okay, you could do that. Because you could build upon each of those successes that way. However, you won't get very much help from God, the universe, and your subconscious mind that way. And you'll end up doing almost all of it on your own, because God and the universe have so much more for you that they're like, if you're just going to sit there and do what you probably already know how to do, you don't need us to help you with that so much. And you won't have the inspiration, intuition, and revelation to help you move forward so much, and you will run out of energy. Because, hey, if I go from 3 to 4,000 this year, it certainly might, some of you, that would be a huge change. Okay. That'd be like 25% more money than you were earning, or 30%. That could be. But at some point, you will not do it, because almost every one of us knows how to add $500 to $1,000 a month to our income. Most of us in our mind have been programmed, unfortunately, subconsciously, that means work more hours or get a different job that pays a bit more, right? And if you're already working 50, 60, 70 hours, you're not going to want to work an extra 10 hours to get the extra $1,000. You're just not going to. It's not inspiring enough, and it won't get you to reach your potential. And your spirit's going to be like, blah. You know what? That's not me. Do and have things. And what you're telling me is that you've given up, essentially, right? You're going to do a little bit better than the growth of, of inflation and things like that. But if you want to go from, which I've helped, go from 40,000 to 140,000 in 6 months, you might want some help. Okay. Because I've coached people who've done things like that. So I'm just sharing with you that you might want to consider things differently. You paid money for an education probably anyways and didn't get much out of it. So you might want to find myself, or it totally could be somebody else. If you don't resonate with me, it doesn't have to be me. But you need to make the decision really about your life and what you want to be like. And you'll be guided and directed to do the right thing. But until you decide what you want, and by the way, that's another thing too that I help people with. They're like, well, what? Because then it knows its job is to keep you safe. If it thinks that you are unsafe unless you have, funny enough, $50,000 in the bank, your subconscious mind won't be fearful. It will make sure you get $50,000 in the bank, and it will keep you. And anytime it goes below $50,000, your subconscious mind will ramp back something up in your life, and it will get you to $50,000, $60,000 in the bank, if that's your subconscious program. Interesting how it will become like a thermostat in your home that is set to a temperature. And in the future, if you like the life that you're living and you've created now, because you purposely created subconsciously a new image of yourself, you're still going to want to change again in the future. That's fine. You go through the process again. But for now, whatever it is that you really want, if you haven't made up your mind, you absolutely need help. Okay. Maybe that's exactly why you need someone to help you out, is making those decisions and getting you to take certain actions so those decisions become real for you. But if you absolutely know what it is that you want and it's been eluding you for a while now, anywhere from days to months to weeks, years, decades maybe. How long do you want it to remain the same? When it could potentially change in as little as 30, 60, 90 days to maybe 9 or 12 months, where you could go from wherever it is that you are to truly up to all the way to what it is that your dream is at the moment. And then your dream will expand in the future. So earlier on, and the calling I felt today to talk about the subconscious mind, and hopefully to teach something off the cuff, but I felt inspired that this is what I should talk about versus going through the science of getting rich today with you. So this is what I've shared. This is your opportunity now to share what you would like to share or ask whatever questions you would like to ask. What you do is you just come off of mute and start sharing what you want to share or start asking whatever it is you want to ask.
So Kevin, hi Kevin.
Hi.
Just just to clarify, with the subconscious mind, even if you don't really know exactly what you want to do, if you reprogram your mind, it can all come to you, and then you can start building and having the money that you want.
Again, you don't know how much money you even want, what you want life to be like. But what you can do is that's the first determining thing. Think about it this way, okay? I was talking with one of you guys the other day about real estate, and because he's in the middle of 3 transactions right now, but it's new to him, he hasn't been paid on anything. And his focus is on the money, want the money. That's why I wanted to do real estate. It wasn't strictly because of the love of real estate. And I'm not saying real estate's the wrong thing to do, but that's essentially why he chose it, is what he wants to do. And I said, if you're going to do that, you should start right now before your business gets too big, because it's tiny now. He hasn't made any money. Decide the life you want to live and let God and the universe build the income streams around it so that you can live the way you want to live. Because you could create a business for yourself that it was Everett we were talking with. You could build a business around yourself that when it's all done, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm working like 80 hours a week and I'm burnt out. And okay, great. You hit 150 grand, you hit $250,000 a year. But you were like, this absolutely sucks. I wanted a different life than this. And now you got to go create it all over again, but you're worried to do it because you're like, I've got this business to run. As a matter of fact, I don't even like living where I live any longer, but your business is related to your location. So now you're kind of stuck. If you actually start with what you want your life to be like, then God and the universe can provide all the income you could ever possibly want or need for you to live that and give you the time to enjoy it too. And it will suit you perfectly. It may not be just one stream of income, it could be multiple streams of income that accomplish it, but it will suit you so that you can live the life you want to live. Most people, when they don't have enough money in the first place, or they don't like the job that they're in, they're just jumping around from job to job and money to money, trying to increase it, not recognizing that you just got on another hamster wheel. You just created one of your own. But if you create the life that you want first, if it takes $500,000 a year income to live that life, that's what God in the universe and your subconscious will help you with. If it's going to take 7 figures to get you to live the way that you truly want to live, that's what they'll help you with. If it's going to take hundreds of millions of dollars to accomplish what it is, and you really want it, you can say, well, I want it. Yeah, most of you don't want to go through what it would be in changing yourself to be billionaires like everybody thinks they want to be. Okay. But if you have a mission and a purpose and everything else and it's in alignment, then God in the universe would line that up for you too, if it fits the life you want. But pick the life you want first so that they can build around you something that sustains what you really want. That's the better way to do it. And also, that's typically the fastest way to progress.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Questions or comments?
Hi, Kevin.
Hey,
Hi, Kevin.
Liz.
It's Liz.
Hey, Liz.
How are you?
Good. Good.
So I have a question that I've kind of been battling with for myself this morning, and that is, what's the fastest way to get yourself out of scarcity and lack mentality to be able to attract?
The fastest way?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
To me, it's
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
me, it's putting yourself in a state of joy. Like, so everything that I've studied on the law of attraction, like Esther Hicks and the teachers of Abraham and all of that, is if you want to attract abundance, you have to feel abundant. And abundance isn't necessarily money. It's just, it's abundance is around you everywhere.
Sure. So Liz and you and I've had some discussion. You've attracted some things that are absolutely cool that you wanted to do, correct?
Right.
I'm just repeating, so I already know the answer, right?
Yeah.
I'm like the attorney, right, in the courtroom going, hey, Liz. Okay, but so I already know the answer to the question about that. So, and you've manifested, I mean, you've traveled throughout the world. You went to 30 countries or more. I mean, you've done a lot of really cool stuff. What you haven't had happen was, from a financial perspective, a continuous, consistent, reliable streams of income to support the life that you would really want to live.
Right.
Okay. Because that is not your self-image. Now, here's the thing. So how did you attract all the good things but not money? Because you felt good about those things, but you don't feel good about money. That's the bot right now. That doesn't mean it can't change. It can change really quick. But we felt good about the good stuff that manifested. Therefore, that's what we got. So if we're in a state of joy, happiness, and bliss and everything, that doesn't mean every single thing that comes to us, like, okay, I'm happy, so therefore I'm going to have $1 million show up today. Somebody's going to deliver my new car. Somebody's going to hand me the deed to the new house, and my future fiance is going to show up and take me off on vacation to wherever. But here's what will happen. You put yourself in a state of joy and bliss and happiness, and everybody should listen to this. You can have a good day. Okay. You might even have a good 2 or 3 days or a good week. Here's what will happen, though, as a result of remaining in a state of joy or happiness or bliss. Things will start manifesting. Littler things. Nothing's little or big to God in the universe, but things that in your mind are littler, like easier. And there are going to be cool things will happen to you. And the more cool stuff that happens to you, the more you believe more cool stuff can happen to you. Okay. And the more cool stuff that happens to you, the more you'll believe that more cool stuff can happen to you. So at some point, you'll step out a little bit more and go, okay, I have had trouble taking on this money thing for a while. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Maybe I'll try that again in my mind. And if you start to put that on and it's starting to feel good, keep on moving. If you start putting that on and it's like, oh, that just brought you down because your association with money is not very good, then you're going to probably need some coaching and training to know what to do when that comes up, because you'll have to get through that, and your new self-image has to be one that feels good about money and feels that you having money is normal. I'm not saying you have no money. That's not what I'm getting at, but I'm saying anybody out here that's listening to me, you're like, well, I've been able to get this and this and this and this and this. Whatever it is that you've gotten that's been awesome is because you felt good about it. Okay. Whatever it is, whatever you're not getting that you want, it's because you don't feel good about it. But what makes you feel good or not feel good? You have a thought, and your subconscious mind then determines if it's agreeable to that thought. And if your subconscious mind isn't agreeable to that thought, it's going to tell you that's BS, and it's going to want to fight against you. So you've got to work with God in the universe to actually override your subconscious and give yourself a new self-image. But there's no specific amount of time that I can't say it takes 1 month, because this is not like or 9 months, like a pregnancy for a human child, because even though we're all human beings, we're all birthing different children, so to speak. Even though we're all trying to birth children, one person, they might birth their dream in a month. One person might birth their dream in 6 months. One person might birth it in 12 months. It doesn't matter too much, because as long as you're staying positive, positive's a funny word, right? Because, oh, be positive. But as long as you're vibrating in such a way that you feel good, then it's easier to take yourself through the process for the money, for the home, for the car, for all the other things you want. Even though maybe up until now, what you manifested is a good parking spot today, a nice email from somebody, and a free cup of coffee from a friend. That's still a sign that you're now feeling good. That's the best time to really go after what you want. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything more to go
Kevin,
along with that?
sorry. Hi, Kevin, it's Susan. But
Hi,
I'm
Susan.
sorry, I didn't realize the last person was not finished. I'll wait.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, nah.
No judgment here, at least not from me.
Okay. It's like everything I thought I had is not there. So then it puts me in the state of panic. And I'm just like, why, when I'm attracting all of these other good things, does this always present itself? And I know it's my relationship with money. I know that. So I just need to fix my relationship with money. It's I don't have a problem attracting. It's my relationship with money. That's what it comes down to. So
And you and I have discussed this. You're gonna
Yeah.
need some help to get there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's been a long-term struggle, right?
Right.
On and off kind of thing. I mean, there are times where your pocket was probably filled pretty well. It's up and down and yo-yo, and yeah.
Right. It's always been a yo-yo. I've attracted large amounts of money. I've attracted amazing experiences, and then it, like, for whatever reason, it just ends up like back. I end up back at zero right when I feel like I'm on the cusp of breaking through.
Yeah. Totally.
So it's like
totally get
testing me to be like, okay, do you really want this to change, or are you gonna go revert back to what's comfortable?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
part of it is that test. It's not God in the universe testing you. It's actually going through the reprogramming of your subconscious mind, because you end up with two ideas now in your subconscious that are opposing ideas, and that's why you feel poopy when you're trying to move through the terror barrier, which I haven't taught on that yet either. But there's so much. That's why I'm saying when a person goes through being led by somebody like me through a coaching process, we bring you through all of this because we know what you're going to bump up against probably this week, and what's probably going to happen a couple, 2-3 weeks from now. And then the challenge you're going to face on week number 6. And then what you're going to be thinking when 2 months has passed. And then that's why I personally, when I do coaching like that, I take it for a period of 6 months because I want it to stay. Now I do have a jump start thing that I do. It's $1,000. And it helps people get out of the chute and become a lot more aware of what's going on. And if you'll take that information, learn it, and be taught directly through me and through Bob Proctor and some other people helping me teach it, you'll get it. What you'll have to do then afterwards is take the 90 days afterwards and reinforce what you learned, so it starts getting closer to being subconscious for you. But you will become aware of a lot of things that you weren't aware of, and you'll remove a bunch of blind spots. Most of you guys and gals have a myriad of blind spots. The problem with a blind spot is what? It's a blind spot. You don't know what you don't know. And so you're frustrated. You're like, again. And every year seems like Groundhog Day, or every few months or whatever. And you're just like, but your spirit inside of you that tells you to be, do, or have more than you currently are being, doing, or having, it only gives you that nudge because you are so much more capable. And God in the universe, they're not the ones giving you the challenges, the trials or whatever. It's your old programming. Is you're on autopilot and you're trying to break through that, and you fighting against your subconscious mind wins every time. If you break through for a short
Awesome.
period of time without reprogramming, it will revert you back. If you're making $60,000 a year and you bust through to 80 and you haven't reprogrammed your subconscious mind, next year you might be back closer to 60. Worst case scenario, you might be all the way down to 40. Why? Because your subconscious mind is trying to even out that, okay, 60 plus 80 plus 40 is the same thing. It's 3 times 6. It's stupid that it happens that way, but that is the way it's designed to work. But once it accepts that, okay, 80, 90, 100, 150 or whatever is normal, that's your new temperature setting. When something happens, maybe you go backwards from 150 to 120, the next year you'll probably pop up to 180. So but it'll normalize things out. That's what your programming is going to do to you. So you want to decide what you want life to be. If you are going to program yourself for anything, why not program yourself for what you want your life to be like? That would be the ultimate right programming for you. It's like and everybody's going to be totally different because you all want different things. And there's things we all want that are similar, but there are things that we would do based on the talents, gifts, and abilities that we've been given from God in the universe. We're going to be guided and directed to desire different things. That's why the whole world can work, because some people like building houses, some people like decorating houses, and some of us just like to live in a house. Okay. So anyhow, Susan, let's go to you.
Hi, thank you. I think you sort of kind of answered my question / thought. I feel like I'm watching the Oprah Master class and all of these autobiographies, and it seems like those who are succeeding have come from, crazy pasts and histories and childhood. And also, I feel like I'm comfortable. I've never had those kind of traumas. You've heard Oprah's story. So I just was wondering if you could speak on that spot of being comfortable and not having those dips, to feel that desperation to
Right. You
do
haven't hit
more of
rock
that.
bottom, so to speak, right?
Say that again?
You haven't hit what other people might refer to as their rock bottom. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
right. So you're like, well, I'm not as motivated as them because nobody was beating on me. My parents were nice. I had food to eat, clothes to wear. My friends at school were nice to me. Basically life has been decent, right? It's been either pretty good or decent. So I'm sitting here, but you know what? The reason you're here, Susan, you're not here for entertainment, because there's no way you would have searched out a meetup and then showed up today on this Zoom because you just want entertainment. I don't think I'm all that entertaining. Okay. So you show
Actually,
up.
you are.
Well, thank you.
You're a godsend.
All right. Well, thank you. That's not my intention, though, to be entertaining, right? But I'm glad that you enjoy it. But you're here because the spirit inside of you said, Susan, there is something to be, do, or have that's more than you currently are doing. So you are the type of person that I can help out, or, going through some of the material to recognize the possibilities of what can be done. Sometimes you have to be exposed to new thoughts, possibilities, and ideas to where now God in the universe, you're like, that's what it is. That's what I want to go do. And it's not always in relationship to making more money or whatever, but it's your contribution to the world where you go, that's why I'm not quite satisfied. I mean, my bills are paid, evicted tomorrow.
Right.
I've got clothes, electricity, I've got all this stuff. So I'm not in like this bad spot, but I feel like I'm just existing on planet Earth. And I don't think I was designed just to exist. That's more probably your feeling.
Yes, and of course I have the Oprah gene, but my issue, if we can call it that, I've been making millions of dollars for other people, but I need to make it for myself,
Yeah.
for family.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I know it can be done. I just have to learn how to shift it from who I'm working for and with to myself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a reprogramming. There's a safety net of working with others too that own the businesses and have the successes and whatnot, even though you're the one who brought in or figured out how to bring in the success. I had a situation years ago very similar, where I worked with a group of people and we had a partnership going on, and I generated 95% of the revenue. That's not how it was meant to be, but that's what happened. But because there were 5 of us partners, it got split 5 ways. Why did I do that? Because at the time I originally did it, I didn't believe I was going to be as successful as I was. I didn't have that full belief in me. So I leaned on some other people. And I felt like if I wasn't as successful as I, was hoping to be, these are successful people, so they'll help carry the load too. What ultimately happened again, though, is I was better at what we were trying to do by myself than the other 4 were combined. But I made a decision, and because of my own self-image, to put myself in that situation. And I stayed in that situation for a little bit over a year and a half or so, roughly, till I recognized that, you know what? It wasn't like I don't need these people. They're not doing anything. Because if I had not partnered them, I wouldn't have stepped out and did what I did in the first place. So I was programmed to want the safety net because that was one of the first times I was leaving the job world, kind of thing. And so I still wanted kind of a safety blanket. Well, your part of giving you your superpower to help these people make more money is your program to look at them as a safety blanket for you. Because if you succeeded in what you were doing, you were still going to get to eat and everything else. If I hadn't succeeded with what I was doing, because the way our partnership was formed, somebody would have stepped up and paid my mortgage. Right?
That's it exactly. But it hasn't been just 1 year. It's been
Oh, I know.
company after company after company.
Yeah, because that's your program. I just changed my program faster than you did. That's all. But it's at a subconscious level. You know, I'm somebody you should probably hire in a group coaching setting to help you change that so that the $1 million are yours instead of somebody else's. Because that's what I can help you do.
I'm exploring.
Yeah. Yeah. You can explore.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And for anybody that wants to explore directly with me, my email is coachkevinsparks@gmail. coachkevinsparks@gmail. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to explore it, you can go explore all you want. Google will keep you busy until the day you die. But if you're going to explore it, and you're serious about it, right? Then have a real conversation and see if it works out for you. You don't have to. I don't need any of you guys. None of you need me in a sense, until we know. But if God and the universe are directing us to do something and we don't do it, then there's a problem. That's when we run into, like if it says, yeah, Susan, you should call Kevin, you should email him and have a conversation. If that's what God and the universe are saying to you, then you should. Don't ignore it. If what I just said doesn't resonate with you, don't even worry about it. We're not meant to work together. And that's totally fine too. So.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So I've noticed and heard that when you hold on to something, slash like have an obsession with it, or you have an idea of how you want something to pan out, it usually slips through your fingers or doesn't pan out the way you thought it would. So how does that go along with visualization, since you're visualizing it at least twice a day, morning and night? Does that like contradict itself?
No, because it's not the obsession of how to receive it. It's what I want to receive. And then I always have this or something better. When you're trying to force, let's say, for instance, maybe somebody's on here that's involved with a network marketing company. Okay. I'm not shooting down network marketing, by the way. That's not the point of this, what I'm saying. Let me just give it as an example. Network marketing companies are phenomenal at a lot of things, training and stuff like that, motivation. And there's some very good ones out there that are totally legit that I would, say, yeah, if that's what you're doing, that's awesome. They're also very good. not the company specifically, but the people that are the distributors. I'm going to refer to them as that. Other companies call them different things. They're the distributors. They're very good in getting you to believe that this is your only way, right? That you've now found it, whatever it is. You've now found it, the key to the kingdom, the key to your wealth, the thing that's going to be your ticket, to freedom. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not saying that's not possible, because absolutely there are people, there's proof of successful people with the company that that's true for them. Okay. So what happens is a new person decides they want things out of life, like right now, but you're already involved a lot with an MLM of some sort, and you've been taught and told this is it. So what you actually do is you come to training like this, not to find out, how to do something. You're like, I want you to help me make my network marketing business better. Okay. I'll still start off with, what do you want? What do you want life to be like? And are you open to receiving these things from God in the universe, no matter what channel they try and deliver them through? Well, what do you mean? If you go onto Amazon.com and you order, I don't know, I order this hat, right? I go on Amazon.com, I find this hat and I order it, and I've got multiple sellers that sell the same hat probably. And I have multiple ways to receive it potentially. Okay. Well, if they're going to deliver it to me, and it could show up pretty much, if I order it now, if I get it through Amazon Prime, it will show up tomorrow. Or if I order it and it's coming through the United States Postal Service, it's going to be 7 to 10 business days. Or if I order it direct from a factory, it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks plus shipping and handling. Well, what if your network marketing business is 2 to 3 weeks with shipping and handling versus tomorrow afternoon? And you paid the same price for it. You got the exact same thing. But God in the universe said, you want the hat. You don't want a shipping scenario. You don't even want to go to Amazon and buy this thing. You want the hat. And you actually spend less money with Prime because it's free delivery. The United States Postal Service is going to be a period of time. The most expensive way to receive it is actually through direct from the factory. That's going to be 2 to 3 weeks. But what I want is a hat. If God in the universe, you ask for something and they're trying to send it to you through Amazon Prime instead of from the factory, but you're dead set on no. So what you do is you go, well, no, I want it from the factory, right? So it's like, you want it for free shipping, get it tomorrow? No, right? When you're putting your order, well, do you want to get it in, 7 to 10 business days? No. You don't even know you're saying no to those two options because you're so fixated on it coming from the factory that you automatically always choose factory. Well, that's what some people do with their professions. It's got to be real estate. It's got to be network marketing. It's got to be the business I'm currently involved in. It's got to. And you're trying to force God in the universe to send you what you're asking for down one specific channel. When they said, look, I've got unlimited numbers of channels. Are you willing to receive it any way that we're willing to deliver it? Do you want it to come to you now as quickly as we can get it to you? Or do you want to potentially wait a lot longer to get it because you are going to try and force it to come through network marketing? And it's going to take you 3 years to develop into the person that is actually a good network marketer. Did anything of what I just said make sense to you guys?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, be open to, so you want what you want, but you're not limiting yourself to how to receive it. And then by putting in this or something better, you don't worry about if it's exact, because you trust that God and the universe are so cool that if you don't get it exactly the way you want it, they're actually going to surprise you with a cherry on top or whatever you like, right? It's going to be, wow, I was expecting this and it's not exactly what I got. They actually showed me something that I didn't know existed that's even better. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get what I asked for because they gave me something way better. If you look at God in the universe as kind and loving and caring and helpful and has your best interest at heart, you don't fear if they're going to give you something you don't want, or they're only going to give it to you halfway. Now, if your vibration is going out there and it's all skewed, yeah, you're not going to receive things the way you want because you keep throwing doubt and fear and all this other worry and stuff into it. But if you'll go through the process and learn the process and do it the way that they're asking you to do it and reprogram your subconscious mind, let God and the universe provide for you any way they choose. You're the one who puts in the order. You don't decide which truck it comes on. Let them decide. Okie dokie. Well, we're definitely a bit over today. Looks like most of you, though, must have liked what we're talking about because you're still here. Any last questions or comments before we call it a day and get into our weekends?
I'd like to comment and clarify.
Uh-huh.
My headpiece is falling off. I just want you to be clear and understand. When I said entertaining, you put it in a way, you put this complicated process in a manner and present it in a manner that's more clear, almost in layman terms, because I'm starting to read the science of getting rich.
Uh-huh.
And it's sort of, it's in a language that's sort of a little like, wow, this is coming in loops. So thank you. In my comment of being entertaining, I should have clarified to say that you're presenting it in a way that's more understanding, and thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And by the way, entertaining, I didn't take that as a shot. Okay. I'm glad, hopefully I'm not boring, because I sometimes I get
No, you're great.
Thank you. Because I get tired of hearing me. So I like to hear other people too, so thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Any final questions or comments before we see each other next week?
So the key is to just practice reprogramming our mind.
Yeah, correctly. But when we say, here's what I'm a little concerned about what you just said, and this isn't a knock, but you said, so the key. There's multiple keys and there's multiple locks to be unlocked. The reason I want to clarify that is somebody's looking for the one thing, right? Hey, the one thing, if it means hopping on my right foot 10 times and then bowing twice and then kicking my left shoe off, if I do that, will I get what I want? Right? This is a little more deep than what you just said. So I just want people to understand sometimes we take a little nugget here, which is helpful. Go utilize it. Absolutely 100% powerful. But understand it's a culmination of things that people get. And that's why when we're trying and we think we're following the law of attraction and the other laws and whatnot, why we get frustrated, because we don't actually recognize we have a blind spot and there's maybe two things that aren't jiving. And you don't even know those two things are why. You can't find it out for yourself. You're not going to ever figure it out all on your own. But somebody else can look and listen and feel energetically, like myself, go, okay, now I've talked to Katrina a little more. I see here we go. Bam. And you're like, oh, and you go apply it, you follow the advice, and you come back a week later, maybe, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like I had somebody who I was coaching in a group coaching setting that they had somebody who owed them a bunch of money. Now they couldn't force the person to pay them, but they needed to have a conversation, and the person had owed them money for months. And they also had a situation where they have a business and they have some very good customers and it's been running well, but their very best customer, who's always been the most reliable, always paid on time, for the last like 3 months weren't paying on time. And it wasn't because their business was hurting. They were actually a thriving business. So this person was like, well, what's going on? Well, I won't get into detail because that's personal to them, but there were some things they were doing in their life and programs that they had that they got themselves stuck. So we had a conversation about it, and they were like, are you, is that really what it is? I'm like, well, that's what it feels like to me. Go try this and see what happens. So they're like, okay, they did. Well, before the next week, before we got together, they received $9,000 from the person who owed them money, and the person that was behind 3 months caught them up and paid them in advance. But they couldn't figure that out. They didn't know what was going on. They were doing something that wasn't related to that business, but they were doing something in their programming and in their life that created a block. All I did was help them figure that out. I kind of figured it out but I told them what I came up with and said, here's what I recommend that you do. And they did it, and it cleared things up. So, but again, I do the same thing, by the way. I get coached by other people too. Bob Proctor was my coach and trainer. I mastermind with other people that are coaches like I am, because we all have blind spots, and every coach needs a coach. We all need someone, because we're sometimes too close to what it is we're doing to recognize what's going on. Now, what happens when I do that with other coaches is when they bring something up, there's not like this fight or battle. Well, and I'm not trying to justify, well, here's why. I mean, it's like, it's really quick. They're like, well, Kevin, what will it? They're like, oh, yep. You're right. Boom, go fix it. Oh, wow, it's working now. That's what's but if I don't have those conversations with other people that are good at this and understand it, I can stay stuck too. So don't feel bad if you get stuck. Everybody does. It's because our subconscious mind programming is what it is. And there's always different things in there. Remember, most of us that are on here, we're 18 to, I won't say anybody's, let's say we're all here, we're 18 to 100 years old. Well, that means we have 18 to 100 years worth of programming into our subconscious mind, and we don't really fully know what it is. It's only when we go out into the world and try and live the way we want and receive what we want that we can actually figure out what's in our subconscious mind. And we don't have to go back and figure out where it came from. We just have to reprogram it for what we want. Okie dokie, folks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Okay, everybody, you all have an amazing weekend. And I look forward to seeing everybody again next week.
Thank you, Kevin. You have a great weekend as well.
Bye, thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
Wonderful day.
Bye-bye.